He stood there, in his faded military jacket, the American flag stitched neatly on the shoulder, holding a single folded letter in his trembling hand. His name was Daniel Cole, a single dad, a war veteran, and a man who had seen enough loss to last a lifetime. But today wasn't about him. It was about a young soldier, Private Luke Harrison, the boy he had promised to bring home. The airport buzzed with life, people rushing to flights, laughter echoing, the smell of coffee floating through the terminal. But for Daniel, time moved differently. Every footstep he took toward Gate 47 felt heavy, because in the cargo hold of that plane was the flag-draped casket of the 22-year-old soldier he'd mentored. Luke wasn't just a soldier to Daniel, he was like the son he never had. Daniel had escorted fallen heroes before, but this time was different. The airline had made a policy change. When he arrived at the counter, the attendant gave him a polite smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Sir, I'm sorry, but only immediate family can accompany the remains. You'll have to book a separate flight." He blinked, unsure he heard right. "Ma'am, I'm the escort. The army assigned me. I'm supposed to stay with him until he's laid to rest." Her tone hardened. "I understand, sir, but rules are rules." Daniel clenched his jaw. Behind him, travelers stared, some whispering, others just annoyed that someone was holding up the line. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out the official escort papers signed by the U.S. Army. "Rules are rules, huh?" His voice cracked. "Then tell me why this one's worth breaking. That young man in that casket gave his life for this country. You think his last flight home is just cargo?" The attendant hesitated, but her supervisor walked over, a tall man with a clipped voice. "Sir, if you don't calm down, we'll have security escort you out." The words hit Daniel like a slap. A few onlookers pulled out their phones, recording. He closed his eyes and whispered, "I'm just trying to keep a promise." That's when a woman stepped forward. She was in her 40s, a flight attendant with tears already pooling in her eyes. "Sir," she said softly, "were you the one bringing Luke Harrison home?" Daniel nodded. She swallowed hard. "My brother served with him. I heard what happened. He saved 2 men before he was hit." Her voice trembled. She turned to her supervisor. "He's coming on this flight. I'll take responsibility." The supervisor started to object, but the crowd around them began to murmur, words like respect, soldier, and hero echoing from every direction. Within minutes, it wasn't just one voice, it was dozens. Travelers, pilots, even airport staff joined in, saying, "Let him through." The manager realized there was no winning this one. With a sigh, he stepped aside. "Fine. But this is on you." Daniel nodded, his throat tight. As he walked toward the gate, the entire terminal seemed to pause. People stood silently, some placing their hands over their hearts, others saluting. The weight of grief, pride, and honor filled the air. On board, the captain came out to meet him. "Sir," he said, shaking Daniel's hand, "it's our honor to have you with us. We'll make sure he gets home right." When the plane touched down, the pilot made an announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. We have a fallen hero on board, and his escort will now disembark with him." The silence that followed was unlike anything Daniel had ever heard. As he stepped off the plane, the honor guard was waiting. Soldiers lined up, saluting. The flag-draped casket descended slowly, and Daniel followed, head bowed, every step echoing with memories of the battlefield, the laughter of his daughter waiting at home, and the promise he had made to Luke's mother. At the cemetery, as the last note of the bugle faded, Daniel handed the folded flag to the grieving woman. Her hands shook as she whispered, "Thank you for bringing my boy home." Daniel swallowed hard. "He was one of the best, ma'am. He deserved more than I could give." When he returned home that night, his little girl, Emma, ran into his arms. "Daddy, were you sad today?" she asked. He nodded. "Yeah, sweetheart. But I was proud too." Emma smiled softly, "Because you kept your promise." Tears filled his eyes. "Yeah, baby. Because I kept my promise." Later that week, the video from the airport went viral. The title read, "Single Dad Veteran Escorted Fallen Soldier. Airline Tried to Stop Him, but America Stood with Him." Thousands commented, thanking him for reminding them what honor really meant. Daniel didn't care about fame or views. He cared that people remembered Luke's name, that they saw the face behind the uniform. In a world too busy to look up, for a brief moment, everyone stopped, and remembered what sacrifice truly means. So if you're watching this right now, take a second, not for likes or shares, but to thank the ones who serve, and the ones who never made it home. Because heroes don't just wear medals. Sometimes, they wear a tired smile, a wrinkled jacket, and a promise kept to the very end.